the meeting because they were treating it like an interview. I was like, oh no, now I have to teach them ahead of time. I need to train them on how to have a client conversation. Okay, fine. But then the clients would say, okay, send me her bio. And I looked at the bio and I said, oh God, no, I have to rewrite the whole thing. This is not right. And then I
Mm.
write the whole bio and send it to the client. And after doing that, I don't know, about 100 times, I realized, oh my God, I have to go B2C. I have to work directly with the consultants and find a way to teach them best practices and get their businesses off the ground the right way, because they don't know how to pitch clients, they don't know how to write a bio, they don't know how to look like a business owner and not an employee or a
Mm.
freelancer. And so I redesigned the entire business model, which is what it looks like today, which is a membership model where we have members, we help them expand their network with each other. It's very warm, it's very professional, it's best in class, and it's very curated. And then we also just launched an accelerator program for people who are in the earlier stages, that like a boot camp style accelerator. It teaches them exactly what they need to know, nothing more, nothing less, to get them off the ground, making that six figures and the six figures in less time.
And how, just out of curiosity, if you have someone who, let's say, is a pro at pick an area, let's just say marketing or digital marketing, and they want to consult, how long does it typically take after working with you before you feel like they're up and going and landing clients, et cetera? Is there kind of a ballpark kind of time period that you think is pretty traditional?
No, I mean, it really depends on a few things. And that's why we offer three different business lines. I also still do one-on-one advisory for people who are like, you know what, Erin, I know it's expensive, but I just want to get on the phone with you and you just tell me what to do. And there are some people who just literally want it straight from the horse's mouth, and they'll pay a premium for that, of course, but we offer that. Most people who do the accelerator, they want clients fast. The accelerator is designed to get them there in 6 weeks. And then the membership is for people who are already up and running and they want to do better. They want to expand their network. They want a support system. I do weekly office hours with all of our members. It's it really just depends on what the person needs and how much they're willing to engage. I always tell people, the more you engage in the upside, the faster it's going to happen for you. If you don't participate, if you don't ask questions, if you don't show up to the programming, then I can't promise you anything. All I can say is that 100% of the members who show up tell me they've doubled or tripled their income. They tell me they've got better clients, more clients. It's designed to do that. But of course, like anything, you have to show up. You have to
Right,
participate.
right. Well, it sounds incredible and really needed. And I think particularly during COVID, a lot of individuals are probably considering creating a little bit more of a flexible work lifestyle, given the demands on the home and having kids at home and balancing it all. It's very difficult for a lot of women in particular. So allow me to switch gears and talk about the theme of the show, which is startup hacks. And if you could think back to maybe some of the early days, or maybe even still today, strategies that you use to save time and money and gain a competitive edge, that are kind of, Erin's secret sauce, whether it be time management or things you do to take care of yourself and keep your sanity going, or software services that you use, any of the above.
Okay, well, do we have 2 hours? No, I'm just kidding. No,
No, I think we're down to like 5 minutes now.
that's a big question, but I will pack in as much as I possibly can. Um, okay, well, first of all, before I got into it, before I was just way too deep into the whole thing, when I still had my head screwed on straight, I set a goal where I said, looking at this business plan, I think it's going to take 3 years for it to get to what I think is successful. And again, once you're in it, you can't think like that. You're just too deep into it. So before I got deep, I set that goal and I said, no matter what, I will not quit until the 3-year mark, or I will not even entertain it because I knew ahead of time it would take that long. So that way, when things did get hard, I don't care what kind of business you have, there will be very low moments. It just happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I scraped myself off the pavement and I said, okay, like I want to quit so badly, but I'm not going to because I said it was going to be 3 years and nothing else. And guess what happened? The 3-year mark finally came and I celebrated. I had a party and I
Wow.
said, wow, like I not only made it to the 3-year mark, which is where that was my big benchmark, but I'm successful. Like this is how I define being successful. And I'm finally there. And I didn't give up. I didn't quit. So there was that. Then on a more micro level, I have kids. Okay. Like I'm not going to work. I cannot work 16 hours a day. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have that luxury. So my work whistle blows at 5 o'clock every day. And that's that. I, I, I don't have the luxury of working nights and weekends. So guess what? I'm not going to grow as fast as some of these other companies.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew that ahead of time. And so I had to check my ego at the door and set those expectations. Now we've grown every single quarter that we've been in business. But is it 300, 2000% growth? Am I on the cover of Inc. magazine? No. But guess what? My business has grown every single quarter we've been in business. It's just going to grow slower than someone who's able to work 16-hour days. I'm not able to do that. So, that was one. These are more mindsets, but I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people, they get into business and they think, well, it's like I've just got to like put everything into it. Well, first of all, you might burn out and then your whole business is done anyway. And I didn't want to burn out and I wanted to spend time with my family. They want
Mm-hmm.
me too. And that's important to me. And I had to check my ego at the door. So that was that was all a big part. This is not anything to do with time management, but this is a big part of what kept me going.
Well, it's a big part of self-care, right? Because mindset is all about that. It does keep you going, keep you sane. So, and I think it doesn't get enough attention oftentimes. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. In the few minutes that we have left, I wanted to ask you if there's one piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur who's listening today. What would it be, and what do you wish that someone had told you when you were starting out that you'd like to share now?
Well, I'm going to give you two things, okay? Well, no, three, because you just asked me more than one question. What I wish I knew, what some I wish somebody had told me that I had to figure out myself is what I mentioned before. It's just checking your ego at the door. It is very hard when you see other entrepreneurs getting awards and grants and on, in Inc. magazine and all in Fast Company and Wired, that's hard. So I wish I had to figure that out myself. I wish someone had said, just check your ego at the door, ignore all that stuff. It's all noise. Just keep moving forward. The other thing is know your end goal. Okay. Why did you start this business in the first place? If it's to get rich, that's one path. If it's to help people, that's another path. But as you make decisions along the way, you want to really make sure all those decisions are aligned with the reason why you started the business in the first place. So that is very, very important. And I remind myself of that all the time, every time I have to make a big decision. The other thing is, for those of you who are married or have partners, having that partner support is absolutely critical. My husband is my biggest cheerleader, my biggest advisor. And when I had to dip into our savings to help fund some things for this company, he just said, how much? And I said, no, I don't want to spend. How much do you need? How much do we want to put into this? He never said anything but how much, and let's do it. And I support you. I believe in you. It is hard enough running a business, but if you don't have that other person's support and full support, wow, it is just too easy to give up. It makes it really, really stressful.
Thank you so much, Erin. This has been so helpful, and I'm sure that so many people who are listening to you right now really resonate with your advice and suggestions. So if our listeners would like to reach out to you and learn more about your company and your offerings, where should they go?
Everything we do is listed on our website. It's betheupside.com.
So betheupside.com?
Correct. betheupside.com. If you go to
Perfect.
theupside.com, you could get some very cool yoga gear, but that is not us. It's betheupside.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, and tune in next week for more startup hacks. We have another great show that you won't want to miss on the secret female founder strategies that can save you time and money when building your business. This podcast is brought to you by Women Entrepreneurs Global, the first startup studio and digital do-it-yourself startup platform for women. For more information on our guests, this podcast, and many other female founder programs, please visit womenentrepreneurs.global. I'm your host, Fernanda Carapina, and we will see you next week. Thank you for joining Startup Hack. Tune in next week for more interviews. We have another great show you won't want to miss on the secret female founder strategies that can save you time and money when building your business. This podcast is brought to you by Women Entrepreneurs Global, the first startup studio and digital do-it-yourself startup platform for women. For more information on our guests, this podcast, and many other female founder programs, please visit womenentrepreneurs.global. I'm your host, Fernanda Carapina. See you next week.